What is up, boys and girls? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about anxiety, mental health, worry, all that kind of stuff, and what the Bible says in order to help us with it. So let's get straight into it. So we think that mental health is a new thing, okay? That's something that's only just come up in the last, 20, 30 years. That before that, it wasn't ever a thing or wasn't known. And yeah, it probably just wasn't known and wasn't acknowledged. But it was always a thing, okay? People have always suffered bad thoughts, negativity, going in a bad spiral. That's where addictions come from. It's always been there, okay? We've only just realized it, but it's always been there. And the Bible acknowledges this. And it says in Philippians 4:6-7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ." So what the Bible is saying is, present your problems to God with thanksgiving, as in with gratitude as well. Doesn't necessarily mean gratitude about the problems that you're having, because some problems you're not going to be grateful for. Some problems you can see them in a positive way, as a challenge and as something that you are facing to improve yourself, and in that way you can acknowledge it with gratitude. But just gratitude in general, be grateful to the Lord for everything He's already given you, for all the prayers He's already answered, for just being there with you, all these things, and then present to Him with your requests and say, "Thank you for everything you've already given me, but I have this problem now, and I need your help with it." Something along those lines, okay, guys? Anxiety and worry has always been a thing. It will always be a thing. And just because you're a godly man or a godly woman doesn't mean problems won't occur, okay? It just means that you have someone else in your corner to help you fight them, okay? To help you beat the problem, to help you overcome everything that you're going to face. So in Matthew 6:34, it says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So what Matthew's saying in that verse is, problems that haven't occurred yet, problems that are distant and that might not even happen, okay, things that you're imagining in your own head, that haven't happened, but you're worried that might happen one day in the future if everything falls into place and the worst comes to the worst. He says, don't worry about that. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's problems will deal with themselves, okay? Worry about today's problems, because that's what you can face that's what you're facing today, and that's what you can deal with today. So worry about those ones. Don't worry about the other days and the future problems, okay? Just as the past problems, if they're still not affecting you, don't worry about past problems either. Worry about the present problems, the ones that are affecting you right now. Pray to the Lord. Ask Him for guidance, ask Him for support, ask Him for help, but also be grateful for what He's already done for you. And I'm sure He's going to help you out with whatever stresses you're going on with right now. So following on from that, point number 2 is, achieve peace of mind. And to achieve peace of mind, you got to again turn to God. He provides us with peace of mind. He provides us with ways to calm ourselves. Good ways to calm ourselves. The devil provides us with bad ways to calm ourselves. So the devil, he'll provide smoking, drugs, gambling, drinking, all the negative stuff that become addictions in the end, okay? That's what the devil provides in order to calm your problems from today. But God provides us with the good ways of calming our minds. Meditation, focusing on Him, prayer, deep breaths, all these things, taking a walk, nature, animals, pets. God provides us and has provided us forever, basically, with all these ways of calming our minds, which are not addictive or harmful towards us, okay? They're all positives. So if you are struggling to know if, something is from God or something is from the enemy in general, then just ask yourself this question: is this going to harm me now or in the future? And if the answer is yes, most likely it's from the enemy, okay? God won't put things to you to harm you, okay? He loves you, so he wouldn't harm you. So that's just a little tangent, but if anything seems off, then it's probably not from God, okay? So by God providing our peace, it says in John 14:27, when Jesus was talking to his disciples, he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." So this is very important, because Jesus was giving a message of hope and a message of love and care for his disciples. So he was saying something very important here. He's saying, peace I leave with you, so I'm leaving you, but I'm going to give you this gift. My peace I give you, his peace, okay? Only peace that Jesus and God can give us. And then it says, I do not give to you as the world gives, which is what I was just saying a bit before about discerning if something is from God or the enemy, okay? He does not give as the world gives. So if something does not seem like it's from God, it's probably not, okay? Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. So God's saying, don't worry, I got your back. And then in Isaiah 26:3, it says, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, as in calm, as in chilled, zen. Keep your minds relaxed. Don't worry about it. And you're going to have perfect peace because they trust in you. When you're keeping your mind steadfast, it means that you're taking your problems. You're saying, I have these problems. You're not rejecting them or ignoring them or brushing them under the carpet. You're saying, I have these problems, but Lord, I'm going to leave them with you. I'm going to let you take care of my problems, okay? And he will give you peace. Why is he going to give you peace? Because you're trusting. Or why will you receive peace? Because you're trusting your issues, that he's going to solve them. One way or the other, they will be resolved. So then that automatically gives you peace. It's like when you go to a friend and you have so much, pressure on your shoulders, you have something built up in you and you just need to talk to someone about it, and you talk to a trusted friend and then you feel better because you've released all that anxiety that you had in you, that you're feeling. That's the same thing, but 10 times more powerful, 100 times more powerful with God. So for those of you who are dealing with depression, sadness, anxiety, even with, really bad thoughts of eliminating yourselves, God is especially here for you, okay? He especially is with those who have very, very bad thoughts, very, very bad issues, okay? If you're feeling in that way, then you can trust God's with you. And I urge you to take out your Bible or get one, or go up online and look for scriptures and open it up and read it. Just random parts of the Bible. Pick them, because God will always send you a message through his words of hope, okay? So in Psalms 34:18, it says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Okay, so if you're feeling crushed, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling out of the game, if you're, like I said, wanting to eliminate yourself, then I would definitely urge you to seek hope in God. Read the Bible, okay, and he will save you, okay? He will change your life. If you truly seek him, if you truly trust him, if you put your faith in him and you Just read his word and trust him and acknowledge him. He will be there with you and he will save you, okay? Trust me on that one. And then in Psalms 147:13, he strengthens the bars of your gates and blesses your people within you. So if you're going through trials, bad patch right now, then God strengthens the bars around you, okay? So he protects you, okay? It's not bars of a prison, he's strengthening that protected bubble of yours, okay? And he's going to bless the people that are in there with you. So true friends, true family that worry about you, God's going to bless them. If they're in it with you, and you're in trials and tribulations right now, you're facing a lot of problems, he's going to strengthen the bars, okay, around you, your protected bubble, and he's going to bless the people who are in there with you to help you, okay? So he's going to help you through them. He's going to give them strength in order to support you. He's going to give them the right words of encouragement to say to you, okay? So those people who are truly in there with you for the long haul, who are in that battle with you, God's going to protect them and bless them as he's protecting you as well. So the Bible is always talking about work and doing good for others and all this kind of stuff. But the Bible also talks about rest and restoration, which we either don't read it, or we ignore it, or we don't practice it in our own lives. But if we're practicing the other stuff, then we should be practicing this as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about restoration and just resting in general. So that's going to be point number 4. And it's very important also for our not only physical health to rest, but also our mental health. So first of all, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the book. Okay, in Genesis 2, verses 2 and 3, by the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So that's back in the beginning when God created the earth, okay, and everything in it. So he even took a day to rest, and he's God. He is the almighty, all-powerful, everything you can imagine God, right? And he took a rest day. So what's that telling us? Well, it's telling us that we need to rest as well. So that's why we've integrated into our society and into laws that we've passed that we have to rest 1 day per week at least, okay? That's why we have days off from work. And days off from work doesn't mean it's the day that we have to do everything else or work another job. Sometimes the situations arise where we have to, but it's not good to have to do that. And especially when it's every week for weeks and months on end, because you get overwhelmed and you'll get burnt out, okay? So make sure that you take rest days, okay? Whether it's rest days from the gym, rest days from work, rest days from life, you need to have a break from these things, because they can get too much, they can become overwhelming, and they will burn you out, and you'll feel rubbish, and you won't be able to continue, and then you'll start to go into negative thoughts and negative patterns and try to use social media or drugs or alcohol to escape the issues that you're feeling, okay? So in order to counter that and not go down that bad path, make sure that you are taking a rest day here and there so that you can recover, so that you can rejuvenate yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself, okay? Make sure you take care of your body, make sure you take care of your mind. And then in Matthew 11:28-30, it says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So that's a different type of rest. It's more of a spiritual rest, but it's like, again, the theme of this video is, if you're having any issues, if you're having any problems, if you're having any disagreements, fights, if you're going down a negative path, then take a rest, go to the Lord, go to Jesus, okay, and then say that, present to them your problems, and he will give you rest. He's saying that his yoke is light, as in he's not here to burden you. He's not here to add to your problems. He's here to just, soothe you and calm you. Okay, that's what it means by my yoke is light. So present your problems to the Lord, okay, but also remember to actually take rest days in your work week, at least one rest day, so that you can rejuvenate and recover and gain your energy to go back into the next week full of energy, full of hope, full of empowerment. Tip number 5, or step number 5, is to fix your mindset. Okay, mindset's very important. So when we're having bad mental health issues, it's usually because we've gone down negative spirals, either physically with addictions or just mentally, just negative thoughts, because we have our good side of the brain, good dog, and our bad dog, and they're fighting for space in the brain because they can't both be in there at the same time. And it's basically negative thoughts versus good thoughts, okay? Positive emotions versus negative emotions. So if someone cuts you off while you're driving, you can, go down a bad path and you can go, F this and what a bad person, and get really angry and have that negativity build up in you. Or you can just take a deep breath and be like, maybe they're more in a rush than I am, whatever, just gonna ignore it. They didn't see me. Maybe it was innocently. They didn't, acknowledge me, or see that I was approaching, or see that I was right behind them, or whatever. Okay, and they just crossed in front of me. So, for example, road rage can be a very good example of that kind of stuff. So you can go down the bad dog and the negativity, or you can go through the good dog and, just see it for what it could be and put it in as much positive light as possible. So you got to change your mindset, especially if you're in a very negative state. If you have a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of bad issues going on, you have to try to be a little bit grateful each day and see, any positives, whatever, how small they might be, any positives in the world that are around you. Maybe you have at least one of your parents alive. Maybe you have at least a couple of good friends. Maybe you at least live in a place where it's nice and sunny. Maybe you live in a place where people are friendly. Maybe you at least have a roof over your head, which most people will. Maybe you at least have food on the table, which most people will. And these little things, they are overlooked a lot. So try to make sure that you don't overlook them, especially when you're in a negative state. Try to grab onto any little positive that you can to help lighten your mood and help your mental health and your thought patterns improve. So in Romans 12:2, I think I've used this quote, but I know that a lot of other YouTubers use this as well, because it's such a very good verse. It says in Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So it's saying, do not conform to the way of this world. Don't go out partying just because other people are. Don't go out doing drugs just because other people are. Don't, do all these bad things just because other people aren't. Because the vast majority of people do it doesn't mean that it's good, or doesn't mean that it's helpful, or doesn't mean that it's cool. And a lot of people conform to the ways of this world in order to just fit in, okay? Don't worry about fitting in. Worry about your own mental health, worry about your own mental state. If alcohol makes you a bad person, makes you angry, makes you do stupid things, if drugs, really mess you up and give you anxiety either in the moment or after you come down off the high, then why are you going to keep on doing that to yourself? Okay, be careful with who you hang out with, and then also be caring towards yourself. Okay, try not to let yourself be influenced with these bad influences. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, and look after yourself so that you can be in a better place in the future. Okay, it isn't going to be instant, and you might have to reject your friends and hear some bad words from them, like, you used to be cool, you used to do this, you're not the same person, blah 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 blah. But you're not trying to be the same person. You're not trying to be the same as them. You're trying to improve yourself. You're trying to be better. So look for better people who aren't doing those things. Look for better people who are trying to lift themselves up. Look for better people who are successful, who are willing to, mentor you, help you, guide you. All of these things. Look for positives where you can. You always have a negative and a positive in whatever you do. Your actions, the people you hang out with, the things you think, the things you say. All of these, there's a positive and a negative for every single aspect of it. So always try to go for the positives, and you will, improve your life in general, and your mental health will get better. You'll start thinking and feeling better as well. And then in Philippians 4:8 it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Which is literally what I just said. Think about all the positives. Do as much positive as you can. Say as much positive stuff as you can. Whatever you do, think, feel, all of it is all, there's a positive and a negative, and always try to go for the positives, and that will just create a good cycle, a good habit within you to be able to improve your way of thinking and improve your way of seeing the world, and it will, after time, accumulate and improve your mental health as well. So the final point is support and community. Now, the Bible talks about fellowship. It talks about being in a community together and praising and loving God together, and those people which you then create a fellowship with, the good people that you hang about with, similar to the last point, if they are with God as well, then God is with all of you as a group. Okay, and you can all bounce off ideas off each other and talk to each other and support each other in different ways. Some of you will have certain skills, others will have other skills, and you can all help each other out. So in Galatians 6:2 it says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." So if you're in a good group, in a fellowship, church, community, anything like that, if you're in a good positive group, and it doesn't have to be church, if you're not religious or if you follow other religions, you can be in your own communities, but of good people who are going to support you. Okay, as long as you're in that good group there, then you can help to support each other, take each other's problems on. Sometimes it might be a physical problem that you have, where, I don't know, you have leaking pipes everywhere, and you might be able to find a good plumber in your community. Or it could be a mental issue where you're, feeling down and depressed, and then someone prays over you, or they speak, wise words to you, and you become a little bit happier, a little bit more cheerful, or it changes your perspective on something. Okay, so there's a lot of positives there. And then Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 and 10, it says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." So if you are in a group, a church group, fellowship, anything like that, and you are feeling down, then you have other people to help pick you up and, put you back in a positive mindset, or remind you of the good things that you do have, or remind you that God is with you, anything like that. But if you're on your own and you isolate yourself, that's the worst thing that you can do, because when you go down deep, you're going to keep putting yourself down more and more, and you're going to go deeper, 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 and you have no one to pick you up because you've isolated yourself. So find a good support network, okay? Whether that's in church, whether that's a community, whether that's entrepreneurs, if you've got that mindset, whether that's in sports, if you like sports. Find somewhere, a community, a group of people that have similar interests to you and that are going to be a positive influence on you, okay? And as long as you have those two things, then you'll always be wanting to be part of that group. You're always going to be there. You're not going to isolate yourself. And when someone else goes down, you can help pick them up. And when you go down, they'll help pick you up. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was helpful. And I hope you will stay blessed.